So with that being said, it being for me and my musical influences, you know, back in the day when songs were longer than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, right? And they had a long intro with a guitar lead that, you know, you just knew it like part of the lyrics of the song, right? And it had guitar solos and, you know, just all that kind of stuff. So everything that I felt when I was demoing these songs at home is what I tried to portray onto the songs.
Right. Yeah.
And I know too, it was a little unorthodox for you because people don't really come in like that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to record a whole album, you know, by myself, and you know, I want to have the songs like it's 1972.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. That's why, like, I have these certain questions I asked right at the beginning, like, what do you plan on doing with this? How are you putting it out? Are you putting it out online or whatever? Is it, or who is this for? Is this just for you and your circle and your friends and family, or you're trying to get a record deal? Like, because we have to change the way that we approach the songs, and strong structures have to change, lyrics have to be adjusted to fit how you know who the audience is going to be and all that stuff. So I'm glad we figured that out right at the beginning, and then it was like, okay, so it's amazing how much just from my perspective, like as a producer, how much like stress it takes off me when it's not like going to be a release to radio, trying to get a record deal type project, because there's just a lot of sort of rules and restrictions you have to put in place for things, a lot. Sure. And everything has to be on an insane microscope, and you know, and so it was just a very freeing project to be able to just be, all right, that intro is 16 bars and it's great. So, you know, we're doing other things like, it should be only 4 bars or maybe no intro. And
And too, you know, there's a lot of things you tame me down on, right?
Right.
Got me off the fence, right?
Yeah.
Just with that look. Just look at it. So
Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things when we, you know, we're listening to the stuff today, even before you start mixing and doing all your stuff, is that I'm happy with the song choices.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the tempos. I'm happy with what I'm saying, and you know, it's everything that I hoped it would be.
Awesome.
Right? Just all in all.
Awesome.
Right?
Awesome. Yeah.
And you know, when we put it out there, I guess we'll see who likes it.
Yeah.
See how quick I'm back in here,
right?
Doing it again. Right?
How quickly you recoup. And no, it's always, for me, once music gets put out there, just to see how it's, because it almost never, for me at least, goes how I think it's gonna go. There's stuff I've worked on where I'm like, this is gonna be huge, and then it goes out to crickets, you know. And then the vice versa, where I'm like, you know, it's okay, and then it becomes huge, you know, or whatever relatively, but so it's just
And again, something that I just had to keep reminding myself of, that as long as you're good with it, that's it. You know, that's it. And because it's not about, you know, selling 100,000 copies, you know, or whatever, right? That's it. That's an important, don't miss that point right there, everyone listening. Like, at the end of the day, as long as you can live with it and you're happy with it and you're really excited about it, that you've got to be at that place when you put out your music or when you're working on your music, because the public will take it however they're gonna take it. They're gonna like love it, hate it, be undecided, whatever. You don't have any control over that, but you do have control over how you feel about it. And so, you know, focus on that first and make sure that you're in love with the music you're putting out there, and you will find an audience for it. Like it could take a while to build that audience. You don't know how big that audience is going to be, but you will find an audience for your music. So that's right. So make it for you. Serve the music. We were talking about that. Like, you know, what do you serve? Like, are we making it for the audience, or are we making it for ourselves? Or are we just serving the ideas, like, because we get hit with inspiration to make these songs, to write them and record all these parts and track all these instruments? And are we more in service to that? You know, it's serving the inspiration. You know, it's a balance of kind of, I guess, all of it. But Well, again, that's what I feel made this project so special, is that it wasn't for anything but songs. You know, and for what they were, right?
Yeah.
So
that's it. Just serving the music.
Too overthought out. And
yeah. That's the best way to do it for sure. Yeah, overthinking just kills creativity. It's it's a trap for sure.
Yeah. And even with these songs too, I really tried to get what I felt inside of me, in my heart, we'll say, and in my head out into these songs.
Yeah, right.
In a way that people will take what I'm saying and make it their own and be able to relate. And from the first song to the last song, it takes you through a wave of emotions, we'll say.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's also what I think is really captures an audience.
Totally.
Is, right? You reach in there and you grab them, and then right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's your unique voice and perspective, and everyone has that. So if you're trying too hard to like copy what everyone else is doing out there, and you're just sounding like other people want to hear who you are, who's Jason Abbott and what's he got to say. That's what people really are trying to figure out, and that's where that people rise to the top, is they're just being authentic. The biggest artists in the world are just authentic. That's their secret, is that. So yeah.
And too, like me as a musician, from starting to play guitar when I was, at a young age to where I am, this is an extreme hobby for me.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
Because I don't do this for money.
Right.
And it's an extreme hockey. Some people have sports cars, that they soup up and put all their time and money into it. And this is what I do, right?
Yeah.
I was never good at sports. So when you're not good at sports, you become a musician.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's it.
You ever notice like most musicians do not play sports?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. It doesn't, not usually. Yeah. It's funny. So actually it's funny. I'd love to talk a bit about the fact that you, like you said, you're an extreme hobbyist when it comes to music, and this is not the way that you make your living. So you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur, and I love, there's you and there's another person I'm working with now that's is the same. They're an entrepreneur, they're a businessman. So they are applying their ways of thinking about business to their music career, and it's really cool to see like that marriage of the two, because a lot of artists don't generally do that, right? They're not thinking about the business side of. So you talked a little bit about like, okay, I'm doing this album, and you're focused on recouping. How are you going to recoup? And you've come up with a lot of cool ideas on how you're going to do that and really have a plan for that, so
right.
I don't know if you want to talk to that a little bit, just how you apply your business to your music.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things in this day and age with music is the internet, obviously. And to me, putting my music out on the internet is not going to help me achieve my goal of recouping the cost to make this album.
Yeah.
I'm willing to put out this money that I worked super hard for one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
And, I want it to keep paying for itself, which is totally achievable for me. Right.
Yeah.
But again, when I look at the internet and, sites like Spotify, where, you get paid really next to nothing, to put your music out there.
Yeah.
And that's not something I believe will be beneficial to me. More of my fan base is, throughout the Durham region. So family, friends, clients, right? I am going to, overtake the internet as much as I can, but keeping away from sites that give away artist music for free is what I'm going to stay away from. So my plan is to have a website and then have my own mobile app, just like Spotify. Mm-hmm. We'll call it J-Abify, right? And where you'll be able to be a member of my site if you like me and my music enough, where you'll be able to go on there and see contents and videos and, all that kind of stuff. But you'll also be able to stream just my music from my site, right? And that way, it's not out there. My property, is not out there And as much as I want to give it to the world, but this will be the only album.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, yeah. I'd love nothing more but to just be like, here you go, everybody. You know,
yeah.
I really hope you like it. If you don't, I really want to hear from you, because that's the truth right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the plan, is just to incorporate it in my own little business, and to recoup my money, get my money back.
Yeah. So you can make more music. That's so you can keep making more music. That's it.
Yeah.